Aaliyah finds Kelsey. Kelsey's about to make a move. She gets off the ball. Now look at Kelsey Mitchell start slow walking. Like, just look at this. She's not moving. She's not sprinting. Aaliyah's right there at the top of the key. Like, just look at them. They're just walking straight still. Like, oh, all right. Go ahead, Kaylin. Leaving Kaylin on an island. Kaylin gets off the ball. Now her and Kelsey on top of each other. Monique Billings or Leah on top of each other. Yo, that ain't gonna lie. This might be the dumb. Yo, this coaching will literally drive anybody. Like, what is this? Why is Monique Billings and Aaliyah together? Why is Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark together? Like, do we know what spacing means? like, why is it like this is every play on?
Like, look at this. Look, pass the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball. Look, wide, Caitlin wide open, clank. Pathetic. Well, let's watch it again one more time. Look, Caitlin's wide open. Nobody's on her. Look. This is no this.
Caitlin Clark is standing wide open on the perimeter, hands ready, calling for the ball, yet not a single teammate even looks in her direction. She's not being guarded. She's not trapped by a double team, and there's nobody preventing a pass from reaching her. She's simply standing there, completely alone, while 4 other players run their own version of the offense, as if she isn't even on the court with them. This doesn't feel like bad luck. It doesn't look like one random possession getting lost in the chaos of a fast-paced game. Anyone watching that footage can clearly see what is happening. Caitlin Clark is not getting the ball, and it's beginning to look like her own teammates simply don't want to give it to her.
Missing open shots because she knows she has to hurry up and get them up. She knows I'm coming out of the game between the 4-minute to 2.5 minute mark. I'm coming out. So I got to be aggressive early. She knows I cannot pass up any shot. I have to probe and look for my shot early in possessions, because once I pass it to Aaliyah or Kelsey or anybody, I'm never getting it back. This is a shitty situation, man. Pardon my language. I didn't want Caitlin Clark the hell off this team. I want Caitlin Clark the hell away from this front office. I want her the hell away from this goofball clown of a coach.
Think about how unusual this really is in professional basketball. Every team in the league designs its offense around finding ways to get the ball into the hands of its most dangerous scorer. That's not some controversial coaching philosophy. It's one of the most basic principles of the game, something every franchise relies on when building an effective offense. So when you watch possession after possession and the most dangerous shooter on a roster goes through long stretches without even touching the ball, it's hard to simply call that a scheme issue. It starts to look like a group of players either unwilling or unable to make the obvious read and get the ball to their best available option.
Peaked too early. Maybe during those 2 back-to-back win streaks in the middle of the season, maybe we just peaked too early. You guys let me know. But I'm really not seeing a lot of plays ran for Caitlin Clark. I'm not seeing many hard screens ran for Caitlin Clark. I'm really not seeing anything to get her open outside of iso ball.
Clark brings the ball up the floor, does exactly what a point guard is expected to do, and gives it up early to keep the offense flowing and unselfish. That's textbook basketball. That's the kind of decision coaches praise in virtually every system. But pay close attention to what happens after that pass leaves her hands. She never gets the ball back. Not once. The ball moves from teammate to teammate, circulating around the perimeter and finding nearly everyone on the floor except her. Then, as the shot clock winds down, another player ends up forcing a contested 3 while Clark remains planted in the corner, still waiting for a pass that never comes back her way.
This is because of stupid coaching and free throws. I mean, there was one point Caitlin Clark was actually playing good and they benched her. Made no sense. And then Boston, I'm telling you, somebody got to curse her out, bro. The way she's playing basketball is pissing me off. I hate the way she's shooting the ball lately, and she's just making me mad.
If this happened just once, you could easily call it a fluke. You could blame it on a broken play, a missed read, or simple miscommunication during a hectic possession. But when the same pattern keeps showing up again and again, game after game, eventually fans stop viewing it as a coincidence and start questioning what they're actually seeing unfold right in front of them.
Mitchell, your defender could have literally been playing the ball from behind you. So you're literally doing all this, dropping it so nonchalantly. Phoebus could have literally just came and stole the ball right here because you want to throw a little hissy fit again. Caitlin gets the ball, and look at Kelsey Mitchell with her hands up, just standing right there. No effort to sprint. Aaliyah Boston, no effort to sprint. No flashing to the nail, nothing. Like, look at this. This is embarrassing, chat. Leaving Caitlin on an island. Like, man, I'm done with this team, chat. I'm not even going to sit up here and lie to y'all. Then, I posted this right here that Kelsey Mitchell leads all scorers with 9 points in the first quarter, and the Fever are losing by 7. Once again, back to the good old days where Kelsey scores, but the Fever loses the game. Kelsey can score as much as she wants. It won't translate to any wins because Caitlin is not facilitating. She's not creating advantages. So Kelsey can score all the points she wants. Eventually, you can't score 100 points by yourself, Kelsey. And it's going to take that to beat her.
Now let's talk about the Liberty game, because this is the one clip that really captures everything happening here. Clark has the ball at the top of the key, and the defense hasn't even fully collapsed on her yet. So she's doing exactly what a smart, disciplined guard is supposed to do. She's scanning the floor and looking for the right play instead of forcing a bad pass into traffic. She looks left, but there's nobody there. She looks right, and again, nobody is available. She searches for a cutter, someone making a hard move toward the basket, or a teammate relocating along the baseline to create a clean passing lane. But there is nothing available. Nobody cuts. Nobody moves into space. Nobody gives her an obvious passing option except taking the ball back in her own hands.
Keys, letting Caitlin Clark run the game. In fact, I want the Fever to have more turnovers because it means Caitlin Clark is running the game. You know what that means? That means they'll have more assists. They'll have more fluidity. They'll have more rhythm. Players will have more motivation to be in their spots. Lexi Ho has spoken about it, how she knows where to be and how she gets rewarded for it because in the past, she wouldn't be hit before. But, you know, it is what it is. I want you guys to watch this little clip real quick. Aaliyah finds Kelsey. Kelsey's about to make a move. She gets off the ball. Now look how Kelsey Mitchell starts slow walking. Y'all seen Kelsey Mitchell start slow walking right here. Once again, for those who missed it, Kelsey was trying to get in her bag, start making her move, and she realized that Caitlin was coming to get the ball. Now Kelsey Mitchell just drops the ball with an attitude like, all right, go ahead and take it. Look.
While Clark scans the floor for anyone, to pass the ball to, every one of her teammates is standing almost completely still like statues. Nobody is cutting toward the basket. Nobody is relocating to the opposite wing. Nobody is setting a screen to create even a brief opening. In a functioning offense, when the primary ball handler starts searching for a passing option against the Liberty's aggressive defense, teammates should react immediately. They move with purpose, create passing angles, and give the ball handler something to work with. Here, however, it looks like watching a photograph frozen in place, with 4 professional players barely moving while the 5th desperately searches for someone to help her escape a difficult situation. That is the exact moment referenced at the beginning of this video. Caitlin was trying to find a passing option against the Liberty, and what happened? Nobody was there. Nobody, not a single teammate, was moving into position to give her an outlet.
Small forward for the entire first half of the game, all the way until about 4 minutes left in the third quarter when the Indiana Fever were down by 9. The girl was playing small forward. Aaliyah Boston brought the ball up the whole first 3.5 quarters. This is ridiculous. This is now Caitlin Clark not involved the first 3 quarters. She got to go one-on-one over and over and over to try to get involved. Nobody passed her the ball not named Sophie Cunningham. This shit is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Caitlin Clark forced the jack-up shots in the first 5 seconds of the shot clock because she knows, God forbid, if she passes the ball to anybody, it's impossible for her to get the ball back at any point in a given possession. It's ridiculous. Bro, Stephanie White played Aaliyah Boston at point guard for 3.5 quarters. I'm ready to lose my mind.
This is where it starts to make sense why Clark's shooting numbers have taken a hit during certain stretches of the season. There was still plenty of time on the clock, more than enough opportunity to move the ball around, reset the offense, and create a genuinely better look at the basket. Yet Clark rushes into a heavily contested shot with 2 defenders closing in long before she actually needed to force the attempt. Why would a smart, experienced, veteran-minded guard put herself in that situation? Because she knows that if she gives up the ball at that moment, with her teammates standing still like we just watched, there's a real possibility she may never get it back during that possession. So instead of trusting a pass that might not return to her, she feels forced to create the opportunity herself and take the difficult shot.
AB going up with a contested shot. I mean, I don't know what she was throwing up at the end. Caitlin Clark throwing up a contested shot. I don't know what she had going on with this ISO stuff. Why are we ISOing when we just saw evidence that if we run the pick and roll, we can get a good look. We can get a good look, right? The entire first half was nasty work. ISO this, ISO that. I mean, my eyes felt like somebody dropped lemon drops in them, dog. It was hurting me.
Clark will hold the ball, wait patiently, and hope someone creates an outlet, only to get almost nothing in return for that patience. Then, after experiencing moments like that repeatedly, she appears to adjust. Instead of standing around and risking the same outcome again, she takes the shot earlier and hopes it finds a net. That's not a point guard playing careless or unintelligent basketball. It's a point guard adapting in real time to teammates who, across multiple possessions, have failed to consistently return the ball after she gives it up. When you can't rely on your own teammates to reset the possession and find you again, you may start taking shots you normally wouldn't consider, and those rushed attempts can lead to misses that might not happen when you're playing with a natural rhythm. Step back and look at how backwards this situation can seem. Caitlin Clark is a major reason attention around the franchise has surged, from ticket interest and television ratings to merchandise demand. She's also a player opposing defenses prepare for closely every night. She's the one drawing extra defensive attention and pressure as soon as she crosses half court. Instead of her teammates using that attention to their advantage by cutting hard, relocating into open space, and creating easy passing options, the offense can sometimes appear to do the opposite. They remain stationary while Clark faces 2 and occasionally even 3 defenders, leaving her with very few productive options for where to go with the basketball.
Is putting on MVP caliber play, but she got teammates that wants to hold the ball like they Michael Jeffrey Jordan or somebody. Like, this is nasty. She's setting people up, getting people open, all type of stuff, busting people. 21, 7, and 4, 50%. Like, what are we talking about? Look at this, look at this. Perfectly set up. Perfectly set up. This is crazy. I'm happy we lost. And I hope we keep losing. I hope we keep losing.
Clark gets trapped by 2 defenders near half court, a situation where basic basketball fundamentals would normally call for a teammate to sprint over, set a screen, or flash into open space created by the defensive attention she's drawing. In the footage, you can even see her appearing to call out for someone to come toward her and provide an outlet. But nobody steps in to help. She's left dribbling under pressure, surrounded by defenders, until she's forced to attempt a difficult, low-percentage pass simply to get the ball away before the defense can take it from her. That's more than just a defensive scheme creating pressure. From the outside, it looks like Clark is being left isolated instead of receiving the immediate support a ball handler would normally expect in that kind of difficult situation.
White doing the yapping that she does. Caitlin Clark doesn't want to hear it. Physically cringing. Look at this. Physically cringing, looking physically ill. Looking physically ill. Physically ill. By whatever Stephanie White's saying. Like, damn, I'm tired of hearing this. But hey. Trying to run away. Stephanie White says, no, get over here. Get over here, Cece. Let me talk to you. Don't you walk away from me. Stephanie's like, yeah, I'm walking.
And you can see how this may be affecting her emotionally in the next clip. Watch her body language as she walks back toward the huddle after the possession, her arms slightly out to the sides, and her head shaking in visible frustration. It doesn't come across as a reaction designed for cameras or social media. It looks like a competitor who understands what happened, believes she made the correct basketball decision, and is frustrated that the players around her didn't respond the way she needed them to. When you watch several of these clips together, it becomes harder to view each moment as nothing more than isolated frustration from a single bad play. Instead, they can appear to reflect the accumulated frustration of seeing similar situations unfold repeatedly throughout the season. There are only so many times a competitor can stay composed before that frustration begins showing on her face during a nationally televised game. She's trying to be the unselfish floor general coaches constantly praise. Yet the result can sometimes be isolation, stationary teammates, and difficult shots that are later labeled as inefficiency by people who may not be seeing the entire picture.
Late in the third, we start to figure out, oh, if we run the pick and roll, we can not only get Caitlin a mid-range shot, not only get somebody a lay at the rim, we can also not take the shot and find an Aaliyah Boston in the corner. We can find a Sophie in the corner if we just take our time and focus and move the ball around, not panic. Then all of a sudden we figure that out. Oh my goodness, look how it works. Look how it works.
This is the part that should frustrate any genuine basketball fan watching it unfold night after night. Good teammates learn to read the floor instinctively. When your best player draws two defenders toward her, you move immediately to take advantage of the space she's creating. When your point guard is scanning the floor for an outlet, you cut hard toward the ball or relocate into open space to give her a clear and easy target. When she gives up the ball early to keep the offense moving and unselfish, you find a way to get it back into her hands later in the same possession so the defense can't focus entirely on everyone else. None of this is complicated basketball theory. It's the most basic form of team basketball, the kind of fundamental movement players are taught from the earliest levels of organized competition.
Baby, go watch her work. Look, got Michaela out there looking amazing, man. Shout out KK, man. Stepped up and handled that business. Look at that, straight to the rack. She too little, straight to the rack. We looking at the best thing that's in the WNBA. Look at this, over Angel. Oh my goodness, splash, splash, three. Look, get up. Oh, right there. What you gonna do, Harris? Bang! That's what I'm talking about. Look at the baby go, putting the team on her back. Midi. I thought she didn't have a midi, y'all. Look at that, look. Don't give me too much space. Look at that. Oh, you watching too hard. Look, let's go, Boston. Come here. Oh, look at that bag. Over Angel, look at that.
And to prove this isn't asking for anything unreasonable, look at this play, because this is exactly what the offense should look like every time. A teammate sees Clark get trapped near the sideline, immediately moves toward the open wing, creates a clean and obvious passing lane, and gets the ball back into Clark's hands just seconds later, giving her a much better opportunity at the basket than she would have had otherwise. The fact that this moment stands out as a highlight, something people notice precisely because it seems so uncommon compared with the other possessions we've watched, says a lot about how different the rest of these situations have appeared throughout the season.
Clark can be as great as anybody. She can be Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. She can be anybody. As long as she got Hayona over there as a coach, Mr. Krabs' daughter over there as a coach, and as long as she got that ball hog on her team that's messing up the whole team chemistry, we're going to keep losing. And we not winning the championship. So as long as that coach is over there, and as long as that ball hog keep doing the same thing she doing, Indiana Fever fans, Caitlin fans, y'all may as well get championships out of y'all heads. It's not happening. Listen, if Stephanie White keeps doing that gimmick she has going on over there, being weird, we are not winning anything.
The difference is obvious, and it shows that this isn't some impossible standard being demanded from anyone. It's the basic level of teamwork you'd expect. Yet even that has seemed to be missing far too often. So here's the real question everyone should be asking after watching all 10 of these clips back to back. If Caitlin Clark's own teammates repeatedly stand still, fail to react, and leave her without an outlet against teams like the Liberty, is this really just a matter of basketball IQ? Or could there be something else happening within the team that isn't being discussed publicly? At some point, the footage becomes difficult to dismiss, regardless of how anyone tries to explain it afterward. And right now, those clips present an uncomfortable picture of how Clark appears to be supported by her own team, despite being one of the most important players on the roster.